And we are finally back again. Welcome back everybody, Dirk the Red Panda here with Tennis Ace. So, I asked you guys, like, what if I have some extra time? What should I do? And I gave you three options. I'm slurring already, jeez. No drinks though, just water. But, so I gave you guys three choices for who I should do for like my next route, like to add on to my other routes that I've been doing for this channel. And I split it between June, Dozer from extracurricular activities, and I think it was Anders from after class. May have been Anders or Mark. I think I may have switched it to Anders, but you guys overwhelmingly chose June. Like, everybody loves June. It's like crazy. Honestly, at first when I was choosing between the routes, I kind of was in a limbo with him. I'd known somebody in real life that had some of June's traits and had an appearance similar to him, where it was like almost like too real, like having him in the game. I was just like, oh no, not this guy. But June has a few more redeemable qualities, I would say, than this guy I know. Even though both people are, like, you know, very honest in their intentions, but yeah, it was one of those things where I couldn't really get down with June at first, and as I started getting used to the person I know in real life that was similar to him and got to know him better, I started opening up a little more to June and was like, why not? I mean, yeah, seriously, like, open up to him. Everybody likes him. And I'd played June's route, and I seriously think it's a good route. I just found, when I picked between the three, I just fell in love with Shoichi the most. I still may take back June being third of the three for the routes. Keisuke and him are pretty close with each other, but like I said, just being a volleyball player, I just stick to Shoichi so much. I should probably be talking about Shoichi so much in the episode dedicated to June. Like, way to go, self. So, what my plan is for June is to do day 5 for him, like how everybody has their like half day with him. Like, start the decision like I did with Keisuke, and then skip to day 10, and then skip from there to the character select, because all those days in between are the same throughout all three routes. I may have said in other videos, but the episodes that don't have like a character in the brackets, like specifically Shoichi specific episodes or specifically Keisuke specific episodes, those are the same on all the routes. Like, watch those episodes. Don't want to have to do it 3 times in a row. Don't want to waste too much time treading the same water. So let's see where I saved day 5. Alright, so I think that's day 5. I'm gonna save it here on day 6. Ah, my buttons are broken. Not really, but just for a second. So this is day 5 here, and I'm gonna save it on the day 6 page, so everything's all organized. Hooray. And what is up to Oscar and Kat? First 2 people in the chat. So without further ado, let's get into the reading. Alright, so what should I do? We will save this, of course, on page 6. Great way to kick things off. And back at it. What should I do? Watch June's practice? I guess so. It's the only option we have left out of the 3 decisions. So I think I'll go look for June. He left the music room not long ago, or for the music room not long ago. I'll probably catch him just as he's starting his routine. I can't deny that I'm interested. The last time I saw him play, I felt almost as if it was calling out to me. I was completely drawn to his music. Before I could even finish debating it with myself, I realized that I'm already walking towards the music room. As I come closer to the music room, I start hearing the sound of the piano echoing through the hallway. Just like last time, the sound of the piano draws me in. It feels like I'm being called, lured in by a mesmerizing tune. Oh, there it is, that CG of June from day one. Some good stuff. I go in as quietly as I can, trying not to disturb June as he plays. I don't want to make a repeat of last time. I exercise all of my self-control and stay back in the back of the room, watching from a distance. I watch June rocking his body back and forth to the melody, gently playing the keys. His hands are moving like a blur. My eyes can barely keep up with his fingers. His brows are furrowed as he continuously hammers the keys. Just like last time, he has his eyes closed. How can he even play the piano like that? It's terrifying how hard he can concentrate when he wants to. This certainly doesn't seem like the same guy who's constantly spacing out even when he's being talked to. But then again, who am I to complain about that? Eventually, I notice something that strikes me as odd. June is panting a lot, as if he was having difficulty breathing. He slows down, hunching over the piano. Something is definitely wrong. He's gritting his teeth as if he was in pain. His tail starts flicking randomly, almost thrashing. I instinctively move towards him, slowly at first. Oh no! I forgot about this. So much pain. He's wheezing painfully whilst clutching his chest. I could tell from just the sounds he's making that he's struggling to breathe. June! I cover the rest of the distance in a flash, rushing to support him. Nico-san? His eyes are completely unfocused. I can tell whenever a new wave of pain shoots up because of how he groans, his eyes squeezing shut. What's going on? What should I do? Do you want me to call the school doctor? Jun grabs my arm with his other hand, squeezing me hard. No, it's fine. I just need some rest. He's smiling? No, don't look at me like that. Don't smile at me when you're in pain. This is wrong. Just shortness of breath. This doesn't look like shortness of breath. Does your chest hurt? The answer should be obvious, and yet in my panic, without knowing what to do, it's the only thing that rolls out of my tongue. He shakes his head, mouthing out a mute no. Just shortness of breath. It's fine. Oh, why does he gotta be smiling? This is hurting me so much. Oh, it hurts more the second time when you do this. His voice is coming out clearer. His tensed up body begins to relax little by little as he takes longer, deeper breaths. Slowly, he lets go of my arm and adjusts himself on his chair. I could see his face twitch every now and then, as if a new wave of pain came every few seconds and he was doing his best to mask it. Oh shoot, did I go offline? Oh, shoot, stream resumed. Shoot, why have all times this had to be it? Like, it went from red to just offline, and that is terrible. So, back to the dramatic moment. What are you doing here, Nico-san? That doesn't matter right now. What happened? Are you alright? He tries laughing it off, but his voice is weak. He flinches and reaches for his chest again. He catches himself doing it halfway through and stops. I'm fine. This isn't new for me. What? Are you saying this happened before? Come on, I'm taking you to the school doctor. Jun pushes me away and shakes his head in negative. There's no need. It's fine. I'm already seeing a doctor for it. This is weird. He usually goes along with everything we do or say. Why is he suddenly being so stubborn? Oh, really? Then what happened? What do you have? He stutters. It's not a disease or anything. It's just a... Oh, shoot. Go back. Can I go back? Oh, shoot, I'm on the... Here we go. Perfect. I can finally go back now. I just have to scroll on my mouse pad twice now. It's not a disease or anything. It's just weak constitution. That's all. Almost as if he were trying to prove his point, Jun takes a few more deep breaths, readjusting himself and standing upright. Weak constitution. You expect me to believe you had a bout of chest pain from weak constitution? Jun, chest pains are serious. It's chronic. I've had it since I was a kid. It's no problem. It happens every now and again. I just have to bear it when it does. Really, you don't need to worry. He's usually so mild. He goes along with anything and he goes along with anything I say or ask him to do. Why is he being so stubborn all of a sudden? I don't understand. Unable to come up with anything else to say, I merely relent. Alright, fine. I believe you for now, but at least come with me to the school doctor to get yourself checked out. I reach my hand towards his shoulder to help him get up. No. Jun slaps my hand away that was reaching. Ugh. Oh my god, this shocked me so much I started slurring crap. Jun slaps away my hand that was reaching towards him. He then gasps. I'm sorry. He immediately bows down and apologizes. I'll go after I'm finished here. I really need to practice more. I still haven't gotten the songs comfortably down, and I only have 1 week till the competition. Have you ever thought about what the stress might be doing to you? Come on, it won't take 10 minutes to get you checked out. There's nothing wrong. The doctor will just sign you out and you'll be able to get back to practice. Alright. I'll go. Jun reluctantly gets up. I immediately grab his wrist and almost drag him to the doctor's office before he has time to change his mind. I love how you guys are just like gawking over Jun and just how cute he is while he's having this panic attack or something. My goodness. Honestly, he is cute, but man, I feel so bad for the guy. Oh, there he is. The doctor. He wasn't in it the last time I played it, so... New character sprite, cool. And that's the first time I've seen a hyena in just about anything I played. Pretty cool. And I love the cigarette he has. True health. Well, everything seems fine to me. Good thing we came here after class. There wasn't anyone waiting for a consult, so we were able to get in immediately. The doctor does a few quick tests, checking June's heart rate, temperature, and the like. No signs of fever or mucus. Your heart seems to be doing fine as well. Sit up for me so I can check your breathing. The doctor pushes his stethoscope against June's bare chest and moves it around for a bit. No bare chest scene, dang it. That's cold. June almost shoots out of the chair when the stethoscope touches him. Yes, it was really cold last time. It's not going to magically become warm this time. Sorry. Our school's doctor is a very humorous person. Unfortunately, he seems to have picked the one guy who doesn't understand the concept of teasing. No abnormal sounds in either of those lungs. Take a deep breath. June does as instructed. Yes. Well, everything seems to be the same as always, Kobayashi-kun. I sigh, relieved at the good news, but for some reason, when I look over at June, he doesn't seem happy. Then I'll get back to practice. Not so fast. I said there's nothing out of the ordinary, but I can't let you overexert yourself. When was the last time you got some actual rest? I guess you've been playing every time you had free time, haven't you? But Kobayashi-kun, do you remember that I have access to your records? He picks up a rather large file from his desk and waves it around for effect. Oof. Yeah, alright. The doctor turns to look at me, as if studying me for a while. Mishima-kun, since you're already here, would you mind doing me a favor? I have a few files that need to be taken to the staff room. Could you do it for me? What, me? It will only take a second. I'll just have a word with Kobayashi and send him on his way. We'll be done by the time you come back. Okay. I'll do it. Thank you. He points up to a box on the corner of the room. I pick it up and start leaving the office. June, wait for me, okay? He nods. Kobayashi, that name sounds familiar to me. Honestly, it does too, and I feel like I'm blanking out on where it's from also. I feel like somebody's gonna pop up in the chat and just be like, it's from this, you guys. Everybody's just gonna be so frustrated. Forget, it was like, I think it was like Monster Hunter that was something like that, where it was like they made a Monster Hunter reference, they called it Monster Tamer, and I had no clue what it was. And then somebody was like, you know that is Monster Hunter, right? And I was like, what's that? Being the clueless guy I was. So, we head out. Look at all these scene transitions. It takes a little longer to get things done than I imagined it would. Wait, Kobayashi's Dragon Maid? I don't get the reference, but cool. Everything was going fine until I got held back by Katsuragi-sensei for another round of lectures. Of course. Crazy old hag. Oh, look at him. He's so sad. Like his eyes are just... He's just gazed. I see June standing by the doctor's office, kicking up some dust at the floor. Oh, that's so funny. It's from an anime from a couple of weeks ago. Shoot. not too big in the anime scene. I just don't have time to watch more anime. I'm just recently trying to get back into Haikyuu Season 3. I got the first episode done today, and then I just ran out of time. I had practice, I had work, and then this. So I've been pretty busy since like noon today. And then tomorrow morning, it's like, okay, now let's have practice in the morning instead of the afternoon. So guess I'll push a possible stream to the afternoon tomorrow. That's just life. Alright, so where are we? June standing by the doctor's office. When I look at his face, I see a look that I've never seen him make before. It's just nothing. His face is blank. It's weird. Bad news, I take it? He jumps in surprise when I start talking. I guess he didn't notice me approaching? He takes a few moments to compose himself. Then, looking down at the floor again, he stammers a few words. I'm not allowed to touch my piano for the rest of the day. He called my parents and they told me to go straight home. You couldn't have left me alone, could you? Oof, look at that sass. Damn. Wait, he's getting angry at me? I was just trying to take care of him. I'm an athlete. I take health issues seriously. So do I. Honestly, low-key, when I see somebody fall or anything like that, where it's like they just fall on their butt or something like that, I'm just like, first person to come and be like, dude, you okay? Something like that. We had a guy today that we were playing outside, and you know how like those grass nets or those portable nets, it's like they had those like kind of extensions on them and you stake them to the ground? We had a dude trip on one of those, like trying to get a ball, and like dude just like tumbles and everybody freaks the hell out because it's like, we're all just like, dude, don't be out for the season. Dude just gets up and is like, whatever. Like, people just do that. It's like, come on. How do you take it so lightly? He keeps glaring at me. Except this time, I make sure not to back down. If the doctor wanted him to abstain from practicing for the rest of the day, then I'm sure it can't have been nothing. Eventually, Jun backs down. He leans against a wall, crossing his arms and looking down at the floor. I guess you're right. It's not fair that I blame you for it. What are you going to do now? What's there for me to do? I have to go home now. My parents won't be home for a couple of hours yet, so I'll just have to wait for them alone with nothing better to do. What do you usually do to pass the time? He looks me in the eye, dramatically. Piano. Oh, it's so sad. Oh. He leans back against the wall again, nodding with his eyes closed. Guess I'll just go to sleep and wait for time to pass. Don't you have some games you can play? I've already played all the ones I have, over and over. There isn't really much left for me to do with my gaming system. It's really old, too. Do you actually have to go home? Won't your parents be satisfied if you just leave school and avoid playing a piano? No, they want me somewhere where they can keep an eye on me. Ah, that's too bad. I was hoping we could hang out. You want to spend the day with me? Oh, look at him. Wait, why are you at practice? I hold back a snicker. It took you this long to notice it? Jeez, you really need to be a little more aware of your surroundings, June. Yeah. I chuckle. Before I even notice it, I'm petting June's head. Honestly, I bet it's more acceptable for like an anthropomorphic world like this where it's like, I could be common ground. But for like the real world like this, I just can't imagine petting a friend's head. I mean, patting on the back maybe, just, you know, your basics and stuff. I mean, I got friends or coaches where they'll do that. It's just like pat on the shoulder, pat on the back. It's just like, you know, an affirming feeling. I bet that's what rubbing somebody's head like that is. I bet as closer friends, I've never had that before. Never gone close enough to anybody where they're starting to rub my head. Only times I have been when people have just called me porcupine head whenever I spiked up my hair. Like, I got thick hair and it's like, it's pretty pointy when it gets like gelled up. I don't gel it like straight up or like, you know, all up or whatever like some of those 90s kids would do or whatever. But I mean, like, now I don't, but back then it was like my whole hair would be gelled. I don't know why I got into this tangent from affirming head pats to my own thick hair. I want to do the same to him. Yeah, don't we all want to be Yuichi, or in our case, Nico? It's hard for me to like call our MC Yuichi because it's like, I gave him a different first name. It's like, I'm just so used to calling him Nico. Ah, it's so frustrating. Why did I do this to myself? Ah. My sudden touch catches him by surprise and he freezes. Honestly, I surprised myself too. I stop moving my hand, though I don't take it off of his head. This feels pleasant somehow. As if he's this cute little thing that I want to protect. Makes me picture you in a mohawk. Oh my goodness, no. I mean, I had a day, not like a day like that, but I had like a phase like that in like middle school where it was like either I'd buzz my hair or my hair would be like all spiked up. It wouldn't be like a mohawk, but it was just like everything was spiked up and gelled up. And that's when people would like call me porcupine head and like start patting my head. And that's why I learned, just do the front really and just keep the back like a little bit of a volume, not like spiked, but just not so the front stands out. I learned to be more fashion sensible in high school. So yeah, a very intellectual response. Emo Dirk incoming. My goodness, isn't my hair down enough? Like, my hair is like down right now off camera or off mic. It's like touching my eyebrows. It's like the one day I don't gel it, or 2 days in a row now, but yeah, I'm starting to gel my hair more now, just so I actually look like a well-groomed, mature adult. Like, when you're an adult, you need to take care of yourself. So where are we? Ah! My reaction to move away is delayed by a few seconds. I am left scratching my cheek, looking away in embarrassment. Sorry, I didn't think. I look at him with the corner of my eye, bless you peripheral vision, and see Jun with his eyes glued to the floor. It's fine. I don't mind. We just stand there in silence. I could see why Basket said that Jun is be careful of the quiet people. Whatever he said about that. If he enjoys it. Wink wink. Crap, the mood is too awkward. Why didn't you go to practice? They seem to be fumigating our court today, so practice had to be canceled. I see. I can't think of anything to say. Think, damn it. I look over to Jun, who is standing stiff, fiddling with his fingers. Do you want to come over to my house? Huh? You said you wanted to hang out with me, right? Then why not come over to my place? You'd be okay with that. He looks down to the floor again. Oh, look at him, he's so happy. I'd like it if you'd come. Oh, how adorable. I can see why everybody loves him. We're prone to nosebleeds now. I can't help but feel a little embarrassed myself. Crap, what am I even being so conscious for? Alright then, don't mind if I do. Let's get going then. He starts walking ahead in excitement. This constant mood whiplash is starting to give me constant neck pain. Or, it's starting to give me neck pain. Just neck pain. Not chronic, not constant. Just neck pain. Well, if it doesn't really matter. Or, why am I like totally misreading it? Well, it doesn't really matter. At least I can keep him company right now. I don't know why, but I just feel if I shouldn't let him be alone right now. Or I feel as if I shouldn't let him be alone right now. Sudden music change. We take a long walk filled with awkward silence. Oh boy. I guess Jun's enthusiasm died again when we noticed we were walking home alone. My uncalled for touching probably freaked him out a bit. Perfect line, perfect dialogue. God, am I turning into Shoichi? We finally arrive at what I assume is his place. It's a lot different from what I expected. The house itself is a little smaller than all the others around. And the entire exterior is made of what is seemingly old wood. Oh, I'm reading 111's comment right now, where it's like, I wonder if anyone will ever post a video playthrough of this and pick every bad option on purpose. Dear Lord, that would be terrible. But I would be curious. Like, I wonder how, like, platonic or, like, just unemotive or... like, I wonder, like, how lacking of chemistry there'd be, like, from that, as opposed to actually choosing good decisions. I know that Basket had, like, his interview, and he said that there's one decision where he was like, nobody's picked it yet, but it would have been canon in my mind. And I swear I am going to pick that decision. And supposedly for the next update, CG will be made for it. So once I get the next update this month, we gonna be the first people to see that CG. Goals right here. But that would be an interesting channel, just a channel of all bad decisions. It gives me an impression that this isn't the most stable of houses. I know this neighborhood isn't very new. Most of the houses here have been renovated and had their exteriors redone. As it stands right now, Jun's house is probably the oldest in the street. Answering 111's question again. Yes, the public version is free. All the games that I play on this channel have free public versions, so those links are like in the Patreon. You can download them from the Patreon, which has the links to the itch.io for some of them. Or it's like, I think some of them you can download straight from Patreon, but they all can be downloaded by clicking that link. But, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, that was kind of why with Lunar, it was like, when I tried to get the free demo version of it, I thought it was gonna be a little more than what it was, and then it was only like 2 days, and I just didn't want to put the commitment into being like, okay, I'm gonna do this full paid-for version and support the Patreon at this moment. I'm not paying for any of the games I'm playing right now because I'm doing them all free. It's like I'm in this weird limbo where, yeah, I am working a little bit, but with college and playing as a student athlete, it's like I'm investing so much into that it's like I have very little leeway to sit down and be like, okay, let me pay like $10 here for the tennis ace and like $5 to after class and another like $5 to hayseed, or you know, all that stuff right now. Like, I feel like I could if I'm like more on my own and more aware of my financial surroundings. Like, I'm still at junior college and getting my bearings down for things. Yeah, so that is the answer to your question. It is free for the public version. The only difference is that the Patreon version comes out 2 weeks earlier. Alright, so with that out of the way, moving on. June unlocks the door and opens it. Please come in. The first thing I notice when I walk in is how organized the whole place is. It's completely spotless. Everything looks like it's been meticulously organized and there's not a speck of dust anywhere. Sorry about the mess. Please feel right at home. Says everybody who has a clean house. You go into a house that's like, you know, less than average with it, it's like kind of like pretty dirty, and it's like they don't say anything, they know it. People with like clean houses, it's like one potato chip clip is like out or something and that's it, and they're like, oh my goodness, that's a mess, let me pick that up. But low key, it's like, that's how I feel with our house. Like, well, more so in like the kitchen and living room. Like once you get to like the front of our house, it's like that. You call this a mess? You wouldn't even consider my house to be livable then. How would that be possible? You live there, don't you? I want to facepalm myself right now if my hand was on the enter key. What? Yes, I live there, but... He shoots me a quizzical look. The joke's gone completely over his head. June takes off his shoes and lays them down in a small shoe cabinet next to the door. I decide to imitate him. I know it's not polite to pry, but I walk around the living room, looking over the whole place in complete awe. Even if the outside looks a bit old, the inside is actually quite cozy. This is a nice place. Now you don't have to do that. You don't have to make bad option or bad opinion videos or... Oh, it is bad options, sorry. Yeah, you don't have to do that for yourself. Honestly, I would recommend it unless you really, like, really genuinely want to do it. Like, don't do it because for the sake of, oh, nobody else wants to do it, and, you know. Honestly, it's like, if you want to play the bad decisions, you know, just play them on your own if you don't really care to, like, make a video channel out of it. But, honestly, you do you. Ah, I see a piano in the far corner of it. Is that what he uses to practice? If June's father is a hunk, I'm gonna smack myself. Okay. I thought you had a soundproof room for it. He follows my gaze and his eyes soon come to rest on the piano. Just looking at the piano already has his expression soften, as if just being near it was enough to make him relax. We really don't have any rooms in the house that we could convert into a soundproof room. Also, soundproofing is kind of expensive. Is it? I had no idea. June gently strokes the keys of his piano, looking down at them with visible affection. He must be exercising every ounce of self-control he has to keep himself from sitting down and playing it. I should probably keep him distracted from it. You said you already played all the games you had? Can I see your gaming console? Well, I seem to have snapped him back to reality. It's in my room, though. Follow me. He guides me through a tight corridor leading to a single door. So his bedroom is on the first floor? Once we walk in, June flicks the light switch on, revealing a small, albeit neatly organized bedroom. A simple bed was pushed up against the far wall. There were also a few bookshelves with books and a little table with a small TV on top of it. He also had an old ratty-looking wooden closet right next to the door. Wow, I didn't expect your room to be so organized. Yeah, we don't have much space, so we have to organize as best as we can to make everything fit. Well, you're definitely doing a good job of it. My room isn't nearly as organized, and I'm not a messy person. June giggles. His voice as he laughs is bright and full of energy. At least I don't have to worry about him being too down after what happened at the doctor's office. Plus, it's funny seeing his whiskers twitching as he laughs. It's just a matter of getting used to it. After doing it for years, I feel uneasy if my room gets messy. You definitely shouldn't come to my house then. The mess would probably give you a heart attack. Of all the things likely to give me a heart attack, I don't think a messy house is going to be one of them. Point taken. So, where's your gaming system? Oh shoot, if they have to take out the gaming system, like for this episode, we're not gonna have the CG. Oh boy. Should have done it a few weeks later. Ah, right. What a voice crack. Ah, right. Just a second. He walks up to his closet, opening one of the small doors on the top part. No matter how I look at it, he's too small to reach inside. He's stretching and standing up on the tip of his toes to reach. Wouldn't it be easier to grab a chair? Help him or just watch? I mean, honestly, I think helping him will win some brownie points. Just making sure. So, I'm afraid he might hurt himself if he keeps doing this. You could say that reaching into a closet is a very mundane activity and there's no way someone could mess it up, but I've seen what kind of disasters can happen when he's involved. I'm sure something ridiculous and possibly dangerous could happen, so I prefer not to take the risk. Let me. Oof, look at him move. He nods, walking away to give me space to reach into the closet. I also have to stand on the top of my toes, or the tip of my toes, sorry, but I'm actually capable of looking inside the closet and seeing what's in it. Ah, I can see the console in the back of the closet, next to the pile of old CDs. I grab it and proceed to pull it out, but I can feel as if I'm tugging something that's become stuck. The console only moves a little and then it refuses to move anymore. Is one of the cables stuck? Hold on, I'm gonna save here, I'm gonna save here. Pull harder or try to release it. This was the thing that Basket was getting interviewed about. He said that pull harder is actually the canon to the story. And let me see if Tennis Ace got updated in the meanwhile while I was playing this. Because he said that it's been like, it's supposed to be like a 2-week buffer for when the 0.22 version comes out. I'm gonna be so bummed if I play this and then it's like, okay, the next episode, it comes out and it's like, come on. How about I make a little deal with you guys? I make the CG for this scene, the thumbnail for this episode, if it doesn't show up in this episode. Like, later on, like a week or two, or whenever it comes out, still in 0.21. Oh, we're literally like 4 days from it. And this just internally hurts me. This just hurts so much. So I'm on the itch.io page for it. Let me see what he says on Patreon, because it seems like it would be on his Patreon for his patrons. But, man, I can't believe we missed it by a few days. I was thinking maybe I'll just postpone this to, like, tomorrow or next week or something. Like, maybe just take a little bit longer of a break. But, nope. The decision for the canon CG had to be today. So, I'm, like, doing this meanwhile while I'm streaming. Shows how great of a streamer I am. Gonna eat some snacks. Go do that, man. This is the time. Why are we so close? Unlock this post by becoming a patron. I should have asked Basket for this decision. Low-key, I'm just gonna check Twitter to see if he is there, responded to it, because I tagged him in my tweet about the stream. Slowly doing this. Apologies to anybody watching this after the live stream and just seeing me take this, like, what is it, like 10-minute break just to do a lookup on seeing whether or not this is, like, updated or whatnot. No response so far from Basket. I mean, who knows, probably asleep. Dude works hard for this. But no response from him, so right now there is no possible access to the CG. So yeah, like I said, I promise you guys I'll put it as the thumbnail for this video, since it doesn't show up in this one day that I play it. And if there's a problem with that, Basket, let me know so I don't make a bad decision and post a CG of something you don't want to be, like, used as, like, thumbnail or, you know, reused. So yeah, we are going to pull harder. Without even giving it a second thought, I decided to pull it even harder. Be careful. Oh my goodness. Oh, I can't wait to see what that looks like. My god. I'm sorry, I should have let you guys see that. Is everybody back for this? I'm sorry, Cat, if you're getting snacks, but my goodness, this just happened. Without warning, a pile of CD cases comes flying out of the closet, hitting me on the head with a bunch of times and falling to the floor. Ah, my CDs! I think my head is more important than those CDs, son of a... Ow! I thought that was like breaking the window or something. I low-key thought the console just got yanked out and the window just broke. I think a few of the CD cases fell quarter first in my head. I reach for it and immediately feel a sting upon touching it. I bring my fingers back to eye level and sure enough, I see blood. Oh god, no. Oh, this isn't good. Ah, you're bleeding. Yeah, could you... Ah! He flips out completely, running around the room, randomly opening drawers and throwing their contents out as he desperately looks for... something. Oh my god. This is so perfect. Oh, why couldn't the CG be there? Just calm down. Ah, where's the gauze? Where's the first aid kit? I grab his muzzle with my hand and force it closed, forcibly moving his head so he's looking at me. Calm down first. Look for it after. Once he takes a deep breath and nods, I let go of him. Sorry. He scurries out of the room. Man, this thing stings like hell. Now I'm looking at 111's like comment, and for the every bad decision thing, low key, you're just gonna like take this decision and like actually have the CG for it and be like the first guy to do it. Ah, see, this is what happens when you jump the gun. I can feel the warmth of the blood oozing out of the wound. Jeez, that sounds bad. This is definitely going to be sore tomorrow. June is away for a couple of minutes. I try to focus on anything but the feeling of something warm running down my head. I brought something to clean the wound. Sit still and hold down. Sit still and hold down? Here's someone who certainly isn't going to become a famous author anytime soon. Oh my god, sorry. Is this game trying to be meta or something? Oh my goodness. I decide not to make a fuss. While I'm a bit worried over having someone like him dressing my wound, I decide to just be a good patient. June sits down on the edge of his bed and asks me to sit on the floor between his legs. Ah, I see. This way, he has easy access to the top of my head. I do as he says, leaning close until I can feel some of my fur grazing his stomach. He's very warm. I'm surprised with how gentle he is. Ah, here. I'm gonna use this now. He makes sure to show me everything that he's using before he actually uses it. I never stopped to think about it before, but knowing exactly what he's doing as he does it helps keep me relaxed. Not only that, his touch is so fleeting and soft. I can barely feel anything, let alone pain. In fact, even as I'm aware that I have a cut somewhere in my head, all that I can feel is a pleasant, caressing touch. Oh man, there was so much blood that I thought this would be a more serious wound, but this doesn't look bad at all. I'm really glad. I guess head wounds just bleed a lot, even if they're pretty minor. Alright. The head has a lot more blood vessels than most parts of the body, so there's just more blood to seep out. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a deep wound. Oh really? I didn't know that. I'm relieved. Oh. I hear a light gasp coming from him. Is there something wrong with my head?
What? No, it's just... Your tail is pretty lively.
Huh? As soon as I become conscious of it, I realized I had been vigorously wagging my tail the whole time. Not only that, it's been brushing up against June's legs the whole time. Oh God, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. It's no big deal.
Even if he says so, this is so embarrassing. I'm glad he can't see how red my face is right now.
It's really soft.
I feel something soft draping over my shoulder. I reach with my hand since I'm not allowed to move at the moment. It's really soft and... furry? Is this... his tail? June giggles under his breath.
There. Mine's touching you too now. Mine's touching you. You too now. Or, I don't know how to read this. There. Mine's touching you too now. You don't have to be embarrassed.
Oh, this is so adorable. Oh, if the CG was there, I would be like, I would be so in the mood. Why is this gotta be? Why is this gotta be? Sometimes this just how it be. Alright, let me reload to see if any notifications came up. Like, that would suck if he said, oh, here's the download for the updated version, like, 2 minutes after I do this. Nope. Nothing right now. So. Anyway. But the touching isn't what had me embarrassed. Well, I'll just take this to mean that he doesn't even register my tail wagging as something to be embarrassed about. Hold on, just getting back to the live dash. Oh no, Cat, I'm so sorry. You missed something very interesting. But you still made it back for the heartwarming part of it. Let's just say it got a bit violent. Thanks, June.
For what?
For taking care of me. Even though I did this to myself, and kinda wrecked your CDs in the process.
It's fine. The CDs are just things. I can replace them if any of them broke. I'm just glad you're okay.
Huh. He's really warm. Although this time, I'm not talking about his body. He's just such a warm person.
I have to say I'm surprised. Your fur is really soft. Nico-san, I'm kinda jealous.
It's not all roses. It takes quite a bit of brushing in the morning to keep it from looking like a mess.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. I guess I'm fine with my own then.
It's not as if your fur wasn't soft enough already. I give his tail a gentle squeeze, petting it a few times.
Thank you. I actually use a special shampoo for tiger fur.
Ooh. Nice and luscious.
My parents tell me I worry too much, but I kinda get used to always wanting to look my best.
I just flicked my head and tried to flick my hair as he said that. How cheesy of me.
Although I guess I'm really let myself go in recent years. What with all this extra weight?
You weren't always like this?
Nah, I used to be pretty fit. Although I guess compared to someone like you, I was just thin. I didn't start gaining this extra weight until a few years ago. I really should be more careful with my body, huh?
Honestly, just hearing about this more and more, like, after the Decker Link interview with Basket, it's just very interesting to see how much Basket has kind of put into June. Like, authors tend to do that with, like, various characters, like, sprinkle a little bit of themselves into each character, or various characters, and you can definitely feel it with June. Like, you said that, you know, you used to, like, play sports before, like, health issues kicked in, and then, you know, he's, like, talked about, you know, trying to be more conscious of my weight, or something like that. Like, I even had, like, a little combo with him when he mentioned that or something, and, yeah, I totally get the feeling when it's, like, it's hard to find a resource when everything else takes up time. Like, you get really out of shape when you're not, like, constantly, like, playing your sport or whatever. I haven't had the same experience, but man, I've had it more so stamina wise, where it's just like I can't run the way I used to, like when I've in like fall compared to like the spring. Like my first like in-season stuff, it's like, oh my goodness, I can barely run laps now. But yeah, honestly, it's so sweet to see this just arcing characters, like this character arc for him. Such a sweet guy. Now I'm starting to fall in love with him, dang it. Like, they're all good characters in their own way. This is like one, like, even though there's only 3 dateable options, all 3 of them are solid options. There's not one where I'm brushing it to the side anymore.
Even though it's been years since I quit performing, I've always taken good care of my fur. Although I do wish it could be shinier and silkier.
I'm doing so many like hand motions off to the side while he's saying this. It's so good.
I'm sounding like a girl, aren't I?
A little bit. It's fine though. I never really thought much about it. I just keep my fur I just keep my fur trimmed so it won't get on my way. But I'm also lazy about it, so I let it grow until I can't anymore. Honestly, this is me on a monthly or daily basis. Like, my hair, it's like, I try and go for like the short enough look where I can gel enough to make it like, you know, stay up in the front a little bit, kind of have a little bit of a wave with it in the front. And then the rest of the hair in the back just kind of goes down a little bit, maybe add some volume to it. And I let it grow out for like, you know, a month or so until it's like starting to like touch my eyebrows or even a little more than that. And like, this is when it falls down and I just get too lazy to start gelling it. It's like when I start getting too lazy to gel it, it's like at that point, a week or 2 later, I'll get cut. You sound like a high school girl because of your shy attitude. Oh. You talking about June or me? Because, I mean, these characters are both in high school, technically. Just start eating chips and drink lots of Coke and you'll be doing great as far as physical health goes. Is it sad to say that I do that a bit too much? But it's like, I still eat healthy food outside of that. Alright, where are we? But being a tennis player, I never really had to worry about my looks. Was it really that big of a deal for you?
Kinda. The judges at the competition were always more worried about the music, of course. But they also paid attention to other things. To be a performer, you really need to pay attention to detail. Classical music is considered in my circles to be a high-class hobby. So the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, they would judge you based on all of these things. Eventually, it just became the second nature for me to take care of my looks. Brushing my fur, using special shampoo, eating healthy foods, I got used to all of that. Although I guess I did fall into the junk food habit after I stopped competing.
The relatability of that's so true. When I was in off season, I'm like, I'm hitting it on the drinks and unhealthy foods. And now I'm like, well, my goal is to not drink at all this season and, cut down on the unhealthy foods. Eat more poke bowls. My favorite food. Wow, I never knew all these things were important for someone like him. This is the kind of thing I never would have guessed if I were just a spectator looking from the outside. Honestly, Kat, I would fall in love with Shoichi too, as a character. Like, if he was a Root, like low-key, if it was like a different type of game and all these characters were like, not the main character, and it was like you were the main character yourself, then yeah, I'd just be like, Nico's a pretty valid option. Or Yuichi, sorry. Because he would be Yuichi in that case. So yeah, this is interesting. I feel a soft touch against the back of my neck. My fur immediately stands at attention, but I quickly relax once I realize that it's just his hand. Jun is slowly and gently petting my neck, always with the utmost care, almost like he's caressing a small child. There, I'm almost done. I put a little more gauze on it. You don't have to keep it there for long. You could take it off before you go home if you want. You were a pretty good patient. Usually when I hurt myself, I always cause a fuss when my parents try to treat me. Would you like to lie down for a bit and relax? Nah, I'll be fine. I'll have to admit, this is already plenty relaxing on its own. I lean my head a little further back, resting it against Jun's stomach. He moves his head from the back of my neck into the sides, continuing to pet me there. Oh man, his stomach is so soft and warm too. I could seriously fall asleep like this. Are you sure about that? Because you already seem to be falling asleep right where you are. His belly rumbles for a bit as he laughs, echoing a soft chuckle. Come on, sleepyhead. If you want to stay awake, then you should probably get up now. Oh, 5 more minutes. I'm not your mom, you know. Oh yeah, we should probably clean up the CD mess there. Right, I honestly forgot about that. Since you've already got the console down, you might as well play something, right? Oh wait, I don't have any 2-player games. It's fine. Or I'm fine just watching you play something. Really? Because I'd be fine just watching you play something too. How about we decide on a game first, then we'll see who gets to play. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and choose something then? Nah, I've already played all these games over and over. You play and I'll watch. I'm sure it'll be more fun that way. He starts fiddling with the console, double checking that everything is in order and working properly. Why don't you pick something you like? Don't expect anything grand though. My console is super old. I take a closer look at it and, true enough, I recognize it. It's a Ruby 1. Wait. PlayStation 1? This thing went out of production almost 10 years ago. Probably a PlayStation 1. I had one of those as a kid. I have many fond memories of its games.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. Haven't played it in a while though. I wouldn't mind getting an upgrade.
Why don't you then? Even before I could see the look on his face, I already knew I made a mistake.
We don't have the money for it. My parents are already working 2 jobs just to pay for some personal bills I piled onto them for the past few years.
Oh no, this is terrible to hear. I feel so bad for you. I really feel bad for people like that where it's like their medical bills are a really big impact on the family's, like, you know, economic status or economic situation and stuff, and as a result it's like they have to really like compromise or downsize. It's like, yeah, the person can control it, but that's just sometimes how nature of the world works. Like, I have a friend or a close friend that I know that's like, they went over like a maximum like bill for their insurance or something like that. Like, they exceed their maximum like allowance for like their insurance, and then like they have to pay almost like everything out of pocket now, and it's really difficult for them to like afford medical bills. It's just, it's a tough thing. I was playing Smash Ultimate. I was just playing that the other day too. I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, I was playing it last night for like my second time ever. And then the first time I played it was like last Saturday or something. And let's just say I'm terrible at Smash, but I somehow won once. And it was just, I guess from now on, my go-to character for that is Sonic. But anyway, we are moving on.
I know they'd give me anything I asked, and that's exactly the problem. I don't want them to put themselves through tough times just to get me things.
And that is a true good child. When you are the guy who's like, I'm not gonna be addicted to buying things or making shopping sprees a constant thing, like living within your limits, buying very, very occasionally, once in a blue moon. So, that's very mature of you. Not many guys your age are capable of thinking about others like that. It's good that you're so considerate to them.
Guys my age? How old do you think I am?
15? 16? He stares quizzically at me, blinking a couple of times. Yeah, because most prodigies tend to be like 3-4 years younger.
Why?
12. Oh my god. Oh boy. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. How do I answer that question without hurting his feelings? It's just a hunch I had. Jun shakes his head in negative. I'm 19. See, guys, this... Yeah, you don't expect this from him. Like, my goodness, you're the oldest of all of us. Oh, huh? 19? He's older than me? No way! How can you be 19? You're still in high school. That's what people would say to me too. Like, I graduated when I was 19. Turned 19 like midway through my senior year.
And yet you're perfectly fine with the idea of a 15-year-old being a senior?
Well, It's true that it wouldn't make much sense. I actually knew a 16-year-old senior in high school. The dude was like the smartest kid in my physics class. But my goodness, like, it's weird to think about. And the dude was like, actually like, you know, about my height, maybe like 2 or 3 inches shorter. It wasn't like, he didn't look like really young or anything. It's like, he blended in with all of us, but he was like, oh, you're 16? What the heck, man? It was crazy. He's legal. Everybody except Keisuke is legal. I low-key bet that once Keisuke turns 18, that's when we'll kiss him. Like, that's my hunch, but we won't get another Keisuke update for like 2 months, and that makes me sad. And Shoichi isn't for another month. Extra sad. I am wanting my Shoichi updated. I want it now. Did you flunk a year then?
Well, there were a few personal circumstances last year that forced me to take the year off.
Oof. I mean, low-key, for me, it was like, when I just started preschool a year later or whatever, so it wasn't like I ever failed anything. But yeah, that happens to some people. Like, I knew a guy like that who he battled cancer in like elementary school or something like that. It was like 5th grade or something like that for him. Like, he was a year above me, but he was battling cancer for a year. He comes back a year later, and then he's like in my grade. I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's Nico. Oh no, did you get sick or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I try saying something else, but he picks one game from the pile and quickly puts it in the console.
Here, try this one.
I see the console logo flashing onto the screen as the system whirs itself into life. Let me see if this part's like, you know... Yeah, now I've made it to this part. June hands me a controller and sits on the bed, facing the TV. I take a set on the bed and grab the controller. Since the bed isn't particularly spacious, I'm pressed up against him. I was like looking at Kat's comment or whatever, and I'm like, why are you talking about being a genius? And I looked up, I'm like, oh, of course you're joking about that. 9 years to finish college, combine community college and university. Honestly, people that say, oh, you gotta be 2 years and out of community college, don't listen to them. My goodness, people need to take their time in community college. Like, do your thing, do your pace. Part-time, full-time, whatever you need. I have friends in STEM majors, like that's what I'm doing, STEM majors, which includes mathematics at the end of it. But yeah, I have a friend like that where he thought he was gonna get done within 2 years and like get out of here, but he ended up like getting way too overloaded with his course load and was like, I gotta drop this year-long course that I'm taking and take it next year and then move, like transfer the following year. So people that do that, like they've done 3 years. I even know a friend that, or I know somebody that's in their 4th year right now and is going to transfer that after that. Yeah, people like, especially if you're taking a harder like major such as a STEM major, 3 or 4 years is pretty normal to do. And then university, I bet, yeah, it's difficult to do those upper divisions, but man, it's like, yeah, when people say, oh, it took 9 or 8 or 7 years to finish college, it's like, people go at their own pace. Some people are okay with 4 years and out. Some people need to like immerse themselves and take more time with the material. Like, don't be judging them. Like, just let them take their time. Alright, so I was born 18 years ago, but I'm still 2. Okay? Alright, so since the bed isn't particularly spacious, I'm pressed up against him. It's not uncomfortable at all, though. I see the game's logo popping up on the screen and immediately recognize it. Is this a skippable? This is weird. I think I may have done this the first time. It's like it's been so long that I've forgotten everything about June's route. Dirk is the best boy for advice. If you say so. But only 1 year shouldn't be such a big deal, right? In terms of legality, because Yuichi knew Keisuke a year before, it should be fine. Technically, Japan is different in that the age of majority is 20. But if this were America, it would be 18, and Yuichi being 18 and Keisuke being 17, it's like, if they met at that age, then it's like, you can't get into any romantic relationships unless, you know, you had known them before you turned 18, or before Yuichi turned 18. But morally, I don't think it's that bad of a difference if it's like 1 year with these guys. Like, everybody's within 1 year of Yuichi. And even June and Keisuke, it's like 19 and 17, that's not really a big deal. Like, honestly, like, down the road, that isn't a big deal. Even people that are like 6 years apart, or 7 or whatever, down the road, it's better. Like, once you get to the age of majority, it's like, whatever. Everybody's about the same, everybody's just adult. But, yeah, if it's something crazy, like 15, 20, 30 years apart, yeah, maybe back off a little bit. Because then it gets tricky. Oh, a question to deter me. Are you muscular or very average? Red Scarlet always hitting on me. To answer your question, I think I'm very average. I just have very, like, tone or built legs because I play volleyball, and volleyball players tend to have really, like, stronger muscular legs. So my legs are a bit more thick than average, but overall, the rest of my body is just like a toned, like, complexion. Like, yeah, maybe I have some muscle on my arm, like a little, but it's not like jacked enough to the point where like, oh, he definitely looks muscular. It's like, oh, he just looks toned and healthy. So I don't look frail, but it's like, I don't look like anything special. Ladies and gentlemen, we gave him so close. We got him. If anybody knows that meme, like, holla to you guys. Like, that's one of my favorite memes. So, what is this game logo? Oh, I know this one. I'm a huge fan of the series. June immediately turns over towards me. The move is so sudden that I nearly jump back. As I try to make a noise with my chair, one time it doesn't make a noise. I'm only stopped by the way that gently conks me on the head of the game. I am only stopped by the way that gently conks me on the head again.
Really? I love that series. It's my favorite.
His eyes are almost sparkling with unbridled excitement. Yeah, I have all the new ones at home.
You do?
He starts doing a few breathing exercises. He's looking like a kid trying not to throw a tantrum about something they really want. Aww. Alright, so it seems that in Quebec, we're all crazy because I think at 16 you could be with someone who is at 20. My memories suck. I mean, I don't know Canada or Quebec's laws with that. I know the UK, I think it is that at age 16 you can drink and whatnot, so I think that's the age of maturity or majority. It's weird. America is like, okay, age of 18 is majority, but you can't drink until you're 21. And then car insurance companies are like, you can't rent a car at an airport until you're 25. It is so ridiculous. Let's see, any Twitter notifications. Somebody retweeted my thing, retweeted my retweet, or liked my retweet. Okay, I was just hoping that was like Basket or something responding. I honestly don't care now that we pretty much, I assume, passed the part where the CG would be, but I'm so bummed. I should have asked him like the day before, like, yo, I'm gonna play June's Roots and start that up. And then if he really wanted to, he'd be like, oh shoot, let me add the CG version for you. Here you go. He's probably gonna look back on this and be like, shoot, I should have known. They're not really, like, I always said this like half an hour ago, like, I'm gonna do tennis ace, so yeah. What is my nationality? Getting into them personal questions. White? No, but seriously, I'm not sure if I want to say, because it's like a mix of things. It's like so specific. Well, it's like 3 or 4 things that are like, it's so specific for 3 or 4 things that's like, honestly, would I want this to be known? Like, I'm like half Eastern European, almost Middle Eastern, more so Eastern European for that. And then the other half, I'm, you know, pretty white. I'm European. Oof. We got some clarification from Lad Fluid. Sorry, I'm trying so hard to get that right. So, 16, drink in a restaurant in UK. 18 is drink in a pub. Oh. Unless it changed after I left. Oh. That's cool, you lived in the UK. So, I guess... Wait, would that mean that you could drink at 16, like, at a party or at your home and whatnot? That would be really interesting to see that dynamic in high school like that, because then you could be like in high school and drinking legally, and people are just coming to parties that are like, you know, 16 plus. In my opinion, weed and tobacco should be legal at 21. I honestly think everything should be moved back down to 18. The whole reason was this thing called Moms Against Drunk Driving. It was something like that. It was like some kind of campaign against drunk driving, where it was like, eventually it became national to the point where it was like, federally they're like, fine, we'll make it 21 for drinking instead of the normal 18 as it was. And it was like, come on, like, you can't just be doing that and then like making military stuff still at 18. Dirk is European like Victor. Not that type of European. I mean, I guess I could say it. I mean, a lot of people are this. Like, I'm like half German, so. But that's nationality-wise. Like, you know, if we're talking about like, you know, white. I mean, it's just like, I'm just generically white. But yeah, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm your classic white boy white, like, you know, 100% this or something. Because I'd consider Eastern European a bit more, you know. Like, the what I am is, like, interesting. I can give a hint in that's, like, this country is going into some, like... Or no, this country has been in, like, a war zone and just been going through that, so... Yeah. In Latin America, even 14-year-old people can drink. Wow. Man, I would be lucky to be there. American government always hated drinking. Like the high taxes on alcohol, led to whiskey rebellion, prohibition, etc. Yeah, I mean, it's had a bad history, but yeah, it's just always been like that. That's just America. That's just how it be. I can't really have much of a retort for that. I know that... what was I gonna say about that? It's like something about weed or something like that, like where it's like weed is starting to become more legal and more acceptable through government, and then the opposite is happening for like cigarettes and stuff like that in the tobacco industry with all the taxing. Yeah, it's interesting. I just think that, you know, it should be, the drinking age should be at the age of maturity, and or no, majority at the age of majority, and that's it. But we aren't here to talk politics. So we should move on from this. I can have you over sometime so you can play them. Actually, scratch that. I'll lend you my console.
Are you sure? What if I break it?
Looking at how neatly your room is organized makes me doubt you might somehow break something on accident.
Okay, if you're sure.
Even though he's trying to act modest about it, I can see his eyes glinting with excitement. I won't lie, it makes me feel pretty good about seeing how genuinely excited I can get him. I'm sure. I barely play on my own anyway. You can come to my house to pick it up at any time.
Okay, thanks.
With all that said, I choose to start a new game, careful not to overwrite his save files, he has so many, and start playing. It's fun how June watches so attentively. He avoids making comments on what I'm doing and just seems to genuinely enjoy watching me play. It's also one of the rare occasions where he actually goes quiet without things immediately turning awkward, Or goes quiet without things turning immediately awkward, I'm surprised you play these kinds of games, June.
How so?
Well, it's just that they're very story heavy. If you don't pay attention to what's going on, you'll get totally lost. Especially with the older ones.
I never really consider that. I do love these games. They made me want to become a music composer for a game company when I grow up.
A composer? I thought you wanted to become a pianist. He looks oh shoot, I just almost dropped my mic. He looks away from me.
I did, when I was a little younger. But I'm just not suited for that kind of life. After I realized that, I was depressed for a while. I started binging games and I avoided the piano. But these games and these songs help me cheer up. I want to be a composer so I can be involved in games that can cheer people up just like they did with me.
Wow, that's pretty thoughtful coming from you. I never considered you the type to think too deeply about your future.
I try not to. I'm not sure what's going to happen to me down the line. It's really scary. But you also can't run away from it forever. I may not be able to become a pianist anymore, but I've found something else I want to do with my life. I'm happy with that.
I'm glad you think this way. I'm still surprised though.
It's okay. I've had a long time to think about it too.
Immediately after saying that, he turns his eyes back to the screen and completely zones me out. I don't know if I should consider this as having extreme focus or having no focus at all. Both are troublesome. Oh, I'm gonna take a quick sip of water. First drink of water in an hour and a half. Ah, that feels so good. If anybody heard that, that is your ASMR for the day. Thank you very much. It's been so long since I've had this much time, it's been so long since I've had this much fun playing an old game. I lose myself down a nostalgia trip, looking at all these characters and maps that I used to love, finding secrets that I used to know as a kid. This game reminds me why I used to love video games so much as a kid. Kingdom Hearts Simple and Clean Remix. Oh, I thought we were talking. I thought we were all predicting what the game was that we were playing. But yeah, honestly, if they were playing that, like, it would make sense because I think it's Jun's casual wear. He has like a big key on his jacket, and I think I was reading like a wiki or something about it, and it's supposed to be like based on like, I don't know, Kingdom Hearts was like the rumor for it. But I don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts other than if I get this so wrong, you guys are gonna give me so much flack. It's the one where it's like the crossover with like Disney characters and like that like anime looking dude. I can't believe I just said that. Who is he? It's like, I know he has like, you know, it's like his hair is kind of spiky and stuff. Not like up spiky, but you know, like spiky all over the place, like that anime type of look. But it's like that, and then there's like Goofy in it, Mickey, and I am so out of touch with video games. I apologize in advance. I completely lose track of time as we continue to play. June, sweetie, are you there? I hear a female voice coming from the other side of the door. Is this his mother? With the pigeon, is this a pigeon? I'm sorry, I had to. Yeah, just a sec. I have a friend over. A friend? As soon as June opens the door, I stand up to properly greet whoever's on the other side. Somehow, I don't think she'd like to see a strange person, even if it's a guy, sprawled over her son's bed when she knows her son had been there just a few moments ago. Oh, there it is, that legendary jacket. I'm greeted to the sight of a big, plump tigress with soft, gentle eyes, staring directly at me. I can't look away. She's always looking at me. Glad I got the Kingdom Hearts talk going. As soon as she locks eyes with me, she smiles. Oh, hello there. I'm June's mother, Yui Kobayashi. It's a pleasure to meet you. I bow to her. I'm Nico Mishimaya. It's a pleasure to meet you, ma'am. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Sorry. Why am I like this? When I look up, I see her fawning at me. Oh, and you're so polite too. You must be the tennis player June talked about then. Wait, Mom. Huh? He's been talking about me to his parents? And her mentioning it made him jump? Oh, don't be such a stick in the mud, sweetie. He looks so nice. My husband is a big fan of tennis too. I'm sure he'd love to meet you. Why don't you join us for dinner? Wait, Mom! Oh boy. I don't have time to respond as she immediately grabs hold of my wrist and starts pulling me to the living room. June follows behind, too shocked to say anything. Meeting her is starting to shed some light into June's boisterous personality. I wouldn't call it boisterous. Once we get into the living room, I see a burly tiger sitting on the cushion and watching TV. Cat, your question has been answered. Honey, June's brought a friend over. The man shuffles in his seat, turning to look at us. Friend, what are you? As soon as his eyes fall on me, he freezes. I don't think this is a good sign. Oh, there he is. He's pretty well built, to say the least. He gets up, standing menacingly close to me. His eyes mirror slits. You... His voice is low, almost like a growl. It's enough to make me shiver to my core. it doesn't help that he looks pretty strong and... Is that a police cap he's wearing? Sir? Oh no. Jun mutters something under his breath. The father lifts up both of his arms. I instinctively close my eyes and lift my own arms to cover my face. You're him! You're really him! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! This man wraps his arms around me and begins to squeeze me incredibly hard. Oh no. Oh man. It's like, we all want to know if, you know, Jun's dad's big. We got him hugging us, so... Fan service? What? Hi, Atsushi Kobayashi. It's such a pleasure to meet you. Oh my god, I can't believe you're actually him. It's a pleasure too, sir. But can you please let go? You're hurting me. Oh, sorry. I guess I got a bit too excited. His laugh is so loud that I swear I can feel stuff rumbling around us. My first instinct is to reach up and cover my ears, but I don't want to seem rude. I'm sorry, I'm a bit overwhelmed. Who am I supposed to be? Dad's a big tennis fan. He's been following your career for the past 5 years. Oh my goodness. Ugh, stalker. Such a stalker. Kept tabs on every single one of your matches. I think he even has most of them on video. Yeesh. I low-key feel like this will come back to haunt us later on. Or not even haunt, but come back to impact us or help us later on. Probably when we develop more as a character, and maybe if we eventually play Tanabe or something like that, we're gonna be like watching it with Jun. Like, we're gonna watch like a past match with him, or it's like somehow the match where it all went downhill for Shoichi, we're gonna be watching that with Jun, and it's gonna be like a deep heart-to-heart with him. I am wanting this, and I'm calling this shot weeks in advance before it ever comes out, or months or years. So guys, if it actually happens, you know the date it happened. January 10th, 10:04 at night, Pacific time. That's when I am calling this shot. So, I think he even has most of them on video. Shh, you don't have to tell him. I mean, I prefer to have this told to me. Otherwise, I'd assume your reaction just now is how you treat all of your son's friends. In which case, you'd come out looking even weirder. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. I can't believe you're actually him. When my son told me he met a tennis player named Nico Mishimaya, I thought for sure it was just some happy coincidence. I didn't think for a second. He smacks his fist on his palm and, without finishing his sentence, runs to his entertainment center where he takes a VHS tape? Damn, if you're doing this 5 years ago from now, VHS tapes would be pretty obsolete, I would assume. VHS, huh? Talk about old school. FBI, open up. He pops into his VHS player, and eventually, an image comes up on the screen. I immediately recognize it, because the one on screen is me. This is you. And this is also you. His eyes keep going from the TV to me. He also keeps making extravagant gestures and childish excitement. When I look over to Jun, who's standing next to me, he looks completely horrified. Dad, please settle down. Sorry. I just got too excited. It's just... I can't believe Nico Mishimaya is standing in my living room. What are you even doing with my son? I never thought he'd be able to make friends with an athlete. Oh my god. That is so sad to say. Rip. Rip, my dude.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Huh? I guess every kid is embarrassed by their parents at times. It's universal. It's weird how incredibly similar he is to his parents, though. Frighteningly so. Like, you could point out how his eyebrows are his mom's, and that his white spot on one of his eyes is his dad's, and that... Ah, shoot, what else does he have? He has his mother's eyes. He has his father's ears. I don't know, the stripe pattern's like, I don't know, pretty unique. Tigers are pretty unique with it. What else can I say? I mean, I think I'd say his white fur on his mouth is more like his mother's. He got more from his mother, weird. Alright, so... Frighteningly so. Well, Jun-kun is very fun to hang out with, even if he's a little overwhelming sometimes. Still, he's a nice guy. We like having him around. Wow, this is just... Wow. Still, why would you follow me anyway? I'm not even a professional player yet. I know it'd probably be much more exciting to watch professional matches. I agree with you there. That's why they have the big boys on TV. Not at all. I love seeing diamonds in the rough. And to be honest, we've never really had talented players in Japan before. You're carrying the hopes of our nation as a player. You're certainly the best. Why wouldn't I follow you? Wow. Talk about putting so much faith in me. Well, I'm not the best. Not really. I can't compete with other players in the major leagues, and even in my own league, I still can't get number 1. Tanabe is the better player. If you want to root for someone, it should be him. Kobayashi Sr. groans, rolling his eyes. Ah, yes. Tanabe is technically the superior player right now, but I honestly believe you're more talented than he is. Plus, his game completely lacks passion. It's like watching a chess match. Seeing him play is so boring. You, on the other hand, always gets me on the edge of my seat. Every play with you is filled with anticipation. You don't hold back. You don't go for the safe option. You just see what you have to do and you go for it. Jun's mom places a hand on her husband's shoulder, calling his attention. Honey, I understand you're excited, but please settle down, okay? You're overwhelming our guest. Oh, right. Sorry. Thank you. By the way, honey, I've invited Mishimaya-kun to have dinner with us. Would you please help me get things ready? Wait, Jun leans onto my ear and whispers to me. Just give up. Once she gets something in her head, there's no changing her mind. She'll hold you hostage if she has to. That's very disturbing. Yikes. I really hope he doesn't mean it in the literal sense. Well, at least let me help then. I can cook. Such a polite young boy. But that's nonsense, sweetie. Just play around with Jun. Everything's almost done. I was going to tell them dinner would be ready in a couple minutes anyway. By the way, Jun, honey, I stopped by that dinner you liked and I picked up some okonomiyaki for dinner. I know you love it.
What, but Mom, that place is super expensive. It's not a problem. I just wanted to cheer you up after your... Mom, that's okay. Thank you, we're going back to my room, bye.
Yikes. That was abrupt. Before I even noticed what's happening, Jun has started pushing me back into his room. I didn't even know he could move that fast. After the doors closed and locked, he lets himself slide down to the floor, burying his face in his knees. Oh. Oh God, I'm so sorry you had to see that. My parents tend to be a bit much. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'm used to it already. You're giving me quite a bit of a test run after all.
Sorry about my dad in particular. He means well, but he tends to get way too excited about tennis. I hope he didn't creep you out.
Not at all. Although I'm really not at all, or really I'm not all that your dad makes me out to be.
That's not true. I mean, I haven't been watching tennis for all that long. I kind of stayed away from that sport just because it was embarrassing being around Dad when he's like that. But I really think you're amazing. I really like watching you play. I feel like I get to see a Nico-san that I can't see anywhere else.
Aw, thank you. I like seeing you play the piano too. You're really different when you play. I like that.
I am? How so?
Well, you're a lot more focused when you're playing.
What? That's not true. I'm always focused.
This family is severely lacking in the self-awareness department.
Still, you should probably get yourself ready for a barrage of questions though. I'm sure Dad will make the dinner table conversation all about you.
Really? Alright then. What did I just get myself into? Oh, I forgot. Eventually we'll have a dinner with them, like, longer. Especially if we go into Jun's routes. Further, I mean, like, I think it's like, yeah, I don't want to spoil the day for you, but there is a day where we get to do it. Like I said, I played through, like, day 14 before taking a hiatus from it for, like, what was it, like, almost 3 months now. Like, I played it when the update came out for Jun's last update, and stopped playing Jun's stuff completely ever since. So dinner was pleasant enough. Yui-san made a bunch of delicious side dishes to complement the okonomiyaki, which was also quite fancy too. Not the kind you'd find in any regular food cart. Like Jun said though, his dad hit me with question after question about tennis. Let's see. This is how I feel when it's just like, you know, I'm with my dad and stuff like that. With dinner or wherever, it's like, with family stuff like that, it's like, oh, it's all about, you know, I won't specify the college he went to, but it's like all about his college's team, especially the football team. And it's just like, I get it. I don't want to be a part of that. And it's like I kept getting shirts from that college from my dad as a kid, and it's just like, I don't need these. And it's like I never worn them. At least recently, though. Or at least, I stopped doing it like around middle school, I think I stopped wearing them. If it was already hard keeping up with one Jun, having to deal with 2 other people like him was just... I'm exhausted. Right now, I'm walking back home, trying to recharge a little.
Are you sure you won't get lost? I can go all the way to your house if you want.
Of course, June insisted on accompanying me part way for fear that I'd get lost, even though I've lived here for years. You don't have to. No, seriously, you don't have to worry about it. I live nearby anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, poor June.
Again, sorry about my parents. I hope they didn't make you uncomfortable. They definitely did with me.
No, far from it. Your parents are different, but they are really nice people. I feel a little jealous of you. I wish my family were like that.
Is there anything wrong with your family?
Well, my father isn't around anymore. Mom had to go back to work when we were little to be able to provide for us. At first, it was really hard for us. She kept having to juggle 2 or more jobs all the time, and she'd always be exhausted. She never had time for us back then. I basically raised Aki on my own. It was hard to make it work, especially because my training hours were very short when I first started playing, but we managed. Mom eventually got a well-paying job at a law firm, and things have been stable for us for a while. Still, I sometimes miss having a dad. I don't remember much about him. When I first realized I couldn't remember my dad's voice anymore, it was difficult.
Oof. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know your father had left you guys.
Left? I see. He misunderstood me. Well, I guess I'll let it slide. I don't want to make him upset, let alone feel guilty about bringing it up. Oof. Nah, don't worry about it. I made my peace with it a long time ago. Plus, since I always spend so much time with Aki, the two of us are very close. Not many people can boast about having such a close friendship with their brother.
Yeah, it must be nice. Having a brother, I mean. I was always an only child. Mom and Dad didn't actually plan on having me.
Oh no.
I remember my grandmother letting it slip one day that I was an accident.
Round of applause, people. Round of applause for that.
Mom was beyond pissed with her. As far as I know, my dad got fixed after I was born so they wouldn't have any other children.
The vasectomy.
Still, they've always taken really good care of me, and they always make sure I have everything I need. Even when that meant they didn't. It makes me feel really guilty sometimes.
What happened to his father, Wolfstar asks. I'm not sure if I should say it. Like, I don't know, like, I'm not sure if it was said in the other routes. I think it's said specifically in June's route, because I remember what happened, but yeah. Let's said it right. It's like, it's a bit more serious, so yeah, not gonna go into spoiler territory with that. So yeah, you can either pick the pieces together or just wait until the day it actually gets said, comes up. So that's what your parents do, or that's what parents do, stupid. If you really feel bad about it, then make sure you make something out of yourself. I'm sure your parents just want to make you, or just want you to be happy.
Yeah, you're right.
We reach an intersection. June stops walking and I follow suit. He keeps staring at the ground, not saying anything. Eventually, he looks over at me very shyly.
Thanks for keeping me company. I thought I'd just spend the day feeling lonely and bored. But it turned out to be very fun. Thanks a lot,
Oh, look at him blush. What a sweetie. I think I almost catch a hint of a blush before he turns to look away. It brings me a smile to my face. Anytime, June. If you ever need something from me, don't hesitate to ask. He nods. I'm gonna get back home before Mom and Dad start worrying about me. I'll see you tomorrow, Nico-san. See ya. We have goodbye to each other, and June jogs his way back home. I watch his back fade away from my sight, thinking over how pleasant today was despite everything that's happened. Alright, so sorry guys, I have to do this, but I am going to end the stream now, or at least read over your comments for like a minute or two before I end the stream, but this is where I'm going to stop in terms of roots. I'm going to save this in a new slot just so, in case I can go back to that CG scene, or even just have it as like a little side clip I have on my channel or whatever, just June's scene or something. But yeah, when that update comes out, that CG will be the thumbnail. As long as Basket Case doesn't disapprove of it. So, yeah. My plan with this is to skip why am I stuttering? My plan here is to skip through days 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then start up at day 10 on my next episode, and then after that, skip day 11 and 12, and then do the character selects. All those days that I'm skipping, you can see in my other readings, and I've played them before, and they are all going to be the same for whatever route you do. Well, day 6 is weird. Like, it's the same for Keisuke and June, but you get the picture. I did for Keisuke, so it's going to be the same with that. Oof, I'm sorry, Anthony. It's getting pretty late here, too. Like, that's also why I'm probably ending the stream. It's at 10:20-ish. It's like about 10:20 here Pacific time. And I have to get up tomorrow at 7 for a 9 a.m. practice. Fun, right? Normally we don't practice till noon and stuff if we have a practice on Fridays. Which is the interesting thing. It's like, if I have a game on like a Friday or something, I may not even have to like come until like 4 that day to the school or whatever, and that's pretty nice. Or if it's like an away game, then it's like, oh, I don't have to come to like, 2 o'clock or something, like to get the bus or whatever. Yeah, that's the nice thing about playing a sport when it's like, you have practices at times, but if you don't have any classes that day, and you just have a game, you're probably not going to be at school till the afternoon. And it's like, solid. Oof, 1 a.m. where you live. Wolfstar, yikes. You guys are troopers for being here, though. Like, we've gone on for 2 hours now. That's what it says, 2 hours, 3 minutes is my elapsed time counter. Yeah. I also kind of am feeling a bit, like, tired today. Like, I was playing out in the sun today, and like I said, like the whole story with the grass nets and whatever, we practiced on grass fields today because we didn't get the gym today. We got kicked out of it by our basketball team. It's great when you don't have priority over basketball, but yeah, so that's what happened with that. And yeah, we were out there for like 2-3 hours, and that was a lot more sun than I expected to get in January. It's also really hot today. So, does anybody else say anything? Nothing too much. So I don't see any comments from you or any additional things. I just like to have a little time at the end just in case anybody, like, pops up a quick question or just has some interesting comment to say. But yeah, it's crazy that it's like a lot of you guys are up way later than me. Like, all of you guys, or not all of you guys, but some of you guys are like Eastern Standard Time, like on the East Coast. Some people here are in Europe or UK and whatnot, and are like 8 hours ahead or 10 or something like that. So it's like the morning for them. But any decision before screen selection matters. I would beg to differ on that. It's like, I would say that the first 12 days don't matter for it. Like, the whole reason the character select days are a thing is that it's like, that's what decides the route for you. You play all their days, and once you play all the character select days for a character, that's the route you go on. So, yeah. Oh, I bet you meant to say not really a decision before it matters, but yeah, it's like you can do whatever and try and like, you know, do things or see with like not even hacks, but like just to kind of like go and play 100% the game or something like that and see, oh, what if this decision changes something? But yeah, there's nothing really that makes it a big deal. I would recommend trying to play like the same characters like day 5 and day 10 if you're going to go on their route, but you know, it'd be interesting to see what would happen if you like try to do random characters and then went through with a character select of a character that was different. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight. Oh, what? Another question. Is this game downloadable on Android phone? Oh, so if it's Android, you could download on your phone? That's pretty cool. I think I have a tablet that is like an Android, like a Nook. I'm not sure if you can download it there, but that would be really cool. I mean, I wouldn't be able to film it for you guys, but that'd be pretty cool to like just do and have on the go. Yeah, so my plan for this is I want to do it tomorrow, but I may not get to it until like after lunchtime or like, yeah, so like maybe sometime in the afternoon. I might try and do something with my real life friends. It's so sad saying real life friends, but my friends in real life, I'm planning to do stuff with them later in the evening. So, you know, if I want to try and get in a time slot for tomorrow to do this, it'll probably be like, you know, afternoon time tomorrow. And from there, I'm pretty open this weekend. I may just chill. I might just, you know, do my stuff. Maybe like spend some time trying to do my visual novel thing. I don't know. It's like I started having a burst of creativity with that the week before I got back to school. And I just haven't had much time to really catch up with that since. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like burn myself out when I do these. As much fun as these are, it's really tough if you crank these out like 3-4 days in a row, unless you really are into the route or really are addicted to it. If you're not, like, you know, it's like, yeah, I could be enjoying it. That's one thing, but like, you know, small doses or taking like a break a couple of days between. But it's another thing if it's like, honestly, you're dying for it. You can't take your hands off of it for the route. And I may have that happen with June if I keep reading this again. I know day 10 coming up is going to be pretty good. But I also have, you know, my life, like I said, like my first week of school, I had to like, you know, put all this to the side and be like, I'm not going to play it until I'm done with my first week. And yeah, like I'm gonna need to take breaks for between school and this and work and all that just so I can like take a breath and, you know, recompose myself for all that. So yeah, you still expect to stream from me tomorrow, but I'm not sure if I'll be doing something 3 days in a row is my conclusion. Oh, is there another game? Kaga? What's that? Oh, play some Notes of Heart. Was that the game? Oh, that's a character. Oh my goodness. Good going, me. Notes of Heart. Notes of Heart. Alright, so let me just Google that. Notes of Heart. Like, I'm at this point where it could just, like, you know, go for, like, you know, another 5-10 minutes to just, like, talk with you guys and stuff. And people who are watching this video post-stream or trying to get through all the days as soon as possible, you can honestly just skip at this point. Like, once it got to, like, the 2-hour mark, it's like, you just fast forward to the end of this part. But, oh, is it Notes of Hearts? Or is it Notes of Hearts group? Is it, like, translated from, like, Japanese or something like that? It's free. I see what you did there. Wow, you guys are gonna get me hooked to another game. Oh, great. So, I'm gonna watch that after I end this stream. Wow, that looks like a pretty thumbnail for the YouTube trailer. So, now I have another possible interest in games. Thanks for the suggestion, Cat who suggested it. Yeah, thanks Cat for the suggestion. Yeah, I don't know if I, you know, will be able to get fit into my schedule of things I have right now in the spring. It may come up later. I'll be kicking myself if somebody else does it or a bunch of people do it and I'm like behind on it and it looks like I'm bandwagoning, but right now, I have enough on my plate, but if I can, I'll find the room for it. Thanks again for the suggestions. You guys are free to leave me suggestions here in the comments, wherever, honestly, for new games. But yeah, keep in mind, right now, I'm in a limbo between 4 games. Wait, is Homestruck another game? Oh, Homestuck. No, Homestuck's different. I was like, Homestruck? What is that? But, yeah. Yeah, you guys are cool in the chat. Thanks, guys. Keeping me company. All 11 of you. So, like I said, I'm gonna have to end things here after reading this last question. Oh, wait, I've been playing it and guess what? I'm waiting for Akira to finish his guess what comment before I end this video. So, what, Akira? What do you want to know from me? Good night. No, stay a little bit longer. I apologize to anybody not watching this live. Like, if you guys are still here after, like, the start of this, day 6, what are you guys doing here? Oh, I found a right pan in the game repeat. Yeah, oh, and one of the main characters. I hear things about him. More than interesting for a character. I low-key want to see a Red Panda in one of these games. I get these games where it's like they mention Red Panda characters. Echo has mentioned it. Tennis Ace has mentioned it. But they haven't shown a Red Panda character sprite yet. Repeat's the only one that actually has, from what I've heard. And I haven't even played it. So, that's all I have to say. Like Rayos and a few other people, I'm gonna have to tap out and say goodnight to you, everybody here. Or say goodnight to you guys. I don't know where I was going with that conclusion. Yes, I know about repeats. Gotten it multiple times in this stream. So that's all I got for today. And until next time, take care, guys.